Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be doing this live stream. Actually, good noon. I see that I wind up doing these live streams more around 12 on Sundays. That winds up being a good time for me. Um, and if you are a return listener, welcome. And you already know the kind of energy that exists here. And if this is your first time watching a live stream, if you're watching the replay, my name is Devorah Harow, and my goal is to share the magic that has come into my life and all the lessons I've learned about being calm and how that affects our living, and share it with people so that they can have the great journey, the great learnings that I've had, and they can expand their lives and their awareness and invite magic into their lives also. So that is the flower behind me. The essence of that flower is magic, bringing magic into our lives. And while I'm on that topic, I just opened a closed group today on Facebook called Live Your Magical Life, and it's all about discovering the magic that already exists in your life, going on a very, very exciting journey of coming into that place of recognizing all the amazing, how everything in your life has led you to the most beautiful, magical life that you could have, and you're living it. You might not be aware of it. You might not see all of the magic. You might feel it on the periphery. You might see it here and there. But if you want to wake up every morning feeling excited and go through your day seeing magic happen all around you, then this is a group that you should be joining. So come along. You can ask to join through, I think you just go to the page and ask to join, and I'll link you in. I'm not exactly sure how it works yet because I just literally opened it like an hour ago. But we'll figure it out, and we'll build a community of like-minded people all loving the magic and living the magic. So here we go. Today's topic, which I will talk about as an overview here. Most of these live streams are around a half hour, but I will go into more detail on the Live Your Magical Life page, is something that I was exposed to when Stacy Martino, one of my mentors, shared with us the energy typing philosophy of Carol Tuttle. And I have since bought this book. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sending it over, for bringing it here, called The Child Whisperer. Carol Tuttle brings energy typing into your life through dressing your own truths, recognizing your energy and living it, understanding what it means and living it, and also recognizing your child's energy type so that you can better parent your child in a much more, I find it a very natural and intuitive way of parenting, because you're playing to your child's strengths and recognizing what their main energy type is really helps you understand what headspace they're coming from, what you can expect of them from their natural abilities. Where are you asking of them more than what is natural for them to be giving? Very, very enlightening. So she takes it to identifying yourself and identifying your children and how that affects you. But I want to talk about it on a slightly different angle, and most of what I know about this is through Carol Tuttle, although I've heard about it also through Sarah Turner, my mentor of flower essences, and who's taught me all about the cycles of the moon and nature and how that affects us, and how we can sync our lives up in awareness through nature. So the slants the angle I want to come at it from is recognizing, empowering. The word I want to use is empowering ourselves by knowing our energy type. And by knowing our energy type, we can affirm our strengths and play to our strengths and not spend energy where our greatest I don't want to say weaknesses, but in the areas where we have the least, we all have the four types of energy, and I'll explain that in a minute, but where we have the least of one energy. So instead of us trying to do something ourselves, we might hire someone or ask someone to help us in our lives in a certain area, or we'll see people coming into our lives that have a greater amount of what we have a lesser amount of, and they'll help bring balance into our lives or help us. Let me start explaining it, and then this will all become clear. This might sound a little bit in the air right now, so let's just get started. Basically, there are four elements, and these are the four elements that a lot of people have heard about, and I admit that I have not researched this ad nauseum. There are so many different sources and things to learn about the four different elements, how they show up in Chinese medicine, and there's just an endless amount that can be learned about it. The colors that are associated with each one, the alchemy. But what we're going to talk about here is a quick overview. And on the Live Your Magical Life page, I'll go into each more specifically and how it helps us create our magical life. So, but for today, let's start with a basic overview. Air, water, fire, and earth. Those are the four elements and that we're going to be discussing. And when we all have all four parts, every human being is created with all these four parts. It's knowing your dominant type, as Carol Tuttle describes it. Everyone has a dominant energy type, and that dominant energy type helps. It's the energy that you most would associate yourself as moving with. So you're gonna all four types are going to resonate with you on some level, but your dominant energy type is the energy that shows up in your life most often. It's the energy that you lead with. So keep that in mind. You might not be able to figure out in 20 minutes which energy type you are. I invite you to look on Carol Tuttle's website, read her books. If you really want to find out more about it, come join me for the live streams on the Live Your Magical Life page. There is or ask below if you have any questions. I would love to discuss this further with people. I think that figuring this out is a huge step to empowering yourself. I know that my journey and my reading about the chapter of my dominant energy was so healing and freeing for me and empowering for me. So let's get started. Okay, so air is each energy type has its level of movement, has the way you interact with the world, and then other various characteristics that you can identify with and see that that's how you lead your life, or that that's your dominant energy in living your life. So we're going to discuss some of them here. Okay, so air is the highest level of energy. It's this very bubbly, upward and outward moving energy. So these are the very vivacious people and very social people. The definition is a very extroverted type of person. They connect to the world through people, socially. That is their connection with the world. And the word that they will use most is fun. Again, this is all from Carol Tuttle's book. The word that you will hear that they will associate everything with how fun it is in the world. So they want to do fun. They are magnetized to, their pull is towards things that are fun in life. So you can have a child who loves learning through play, and you can have an adult who is constantly seeking out socialization and friends and loves parties and loves always being surrounded with people. This is air. Now, airs are the first part in the process of actionability. Okay, so every element has their place in how things get done. So there's air, which is the ideas. Okay, every dream, every thing that comes into this world, everything that is created, everything starts with an idea. Okay, so if you want to start a business, if you want to figure out how to parent your children, if you want to figure out where you're going to go on vacation. You start off with your ideas. And air is the element of ideas. It's a very fast-paced thinking. You're jumping from idea to idea. You come up with ideas all the time. There is a constant refreshing of ideas. So if you identify with this, if you are an idea person, if you are the life of the party and love being social and your energy is just upward and outward, then very likely you're a dominant air energy. Now, just a disclaimer, a lot of people have been conditioned or taught through their lives which energy is appropriate for them to be based on their parents, their teachers, what they've seen around them. So there are certain characteristics that help you identify most which energy you are associated with. That is facial features, and I'm not going to discuss that here. And most importantly, your energy, your basic energy, but again, that might have been changed or stifled when you were a kid. So just think back to when you were a young child and before you may have been taught, being loud is wrong, or why are you always, jumping around? Why are you always laughing so loudly? That may have squelched your energy. So look back to when you were an early child, and that can help you if you're getting lost. I don't know which one I am. Try to think back to your early childhood and see if one of these energies most resonates with you. So there you go. That is air, okay? And some essences. I don't even think we're going to have time to discuss essences, but I'll just bring up one. One essence that came up for air is clematis. Clematis is for the people who are dreamers. They've got all these wonderful, beautiful ideas, and they live very much in their headspace, as airs can, because they're constantly ideas, and their energy is up here and bubbly and flowy, and they're so excited, and they're jumping from friend to friend. And it's very important to be able to bring these ideas down into fruition, into a process, to clamp them down, to take the ideas from up here and bring them down into the process. Now, water, fire, and earth will help do that. But if you want an essence to help bring those ideas and really give them a stronghold inside your body and help them manifest, then clematis is a good essence for that. Okay, we're going to leave that there for now. The next part of the process is asking questions, gathering details. Okay, you have an idea. Okay, you want to make a party, and you have, the ideas of what you want to have at the party, but now you need to do some research. You need to ask some questions. What's the best venue? Who's going to do the entertainment? Who should you invite? You need to gather information about what your idea is. You want to clarify your idea by asking questions and gathering details. Okay, so then that's the next part of a process. Also, if you're creating a business, what is the next part of your process? Who are you going to serve? You have all these amazing ideas that you want to bring to people, but who are your people? How is the best way to bring your message to your people? So that is the element of water. I'm picking up my notes instead of the picture. Water is the element of flow. It is a very soft element. On energy scale, it is the second to quietest movement. So if you've got air up here with the highest movement, then there'll be fire, which is the medium to high energy. Then there's water, which is medium to low energy, and then earth, which is the lowest energy. That doesn't mean that you're sleeping all the time if you're in earth. It just means that you have a greater capacity for stillness, as opposed to air, who has a greater capacity for moving all the time. Okay, so water is the second lowest movement on the energy scale, and people who are water who have a dominant water energy will most associate them. Their connection to the world is through emotions. So they connect to the world with they wear their heart on their sleeves. They probably most enjoyed or most resonated with last week's live stream, which was about, keeping an open heart, because they can't help themselves. That is their status quo, an open heart, unless they've been very hurt in life. Their heart is on their sleeve, and they They are very gentle souls, and they go with the flow. They don't like any sort of disruption or dissonance or conflict. They like things to just be on an even keel. They're the very gentle, delicate, regal types. Those are water. And if you have a child who's a water, they are the child who are constantly asking questions. They want to know all the details. You're going on a picnic, they want to know what you're bringing, who's coming, what time you're going to be there, what time you're going to be coming back. They're the very detail-oriented children. They're also the shape associated. Oh, the shape associated with air are circles and bubbles and hearts. Very bubbly and open and fun. And the shape associated with water is an S curve. Very flowy. These people often have wavy hair. You can see a lot of S curves in their features, and they have a quiet nature. And what did I want to say about S curves? There was something else I wanted to say. They also love making things beautiful in their lives. The way they dress is also very flowing, but they also like to decorate. And so again, it's amazing to learn about these. You learn how to delegate different household tasks to your children based on their energy. If they're a water, give them a task that will help them make the house look prettier, like set the table, right? And make the napkins look pretty. One of my children who has dominant energy as a water is water type. She can set the table in 5 minutes, but it will take her a half hour to create napkin art to put on each plate. So give that type of task to a water child. Anyway, so this is the second part of the process, like I said, gathering all of your details. So that is a water essence and a water energy type, and a flower essence that really helps promote this type. Really beautiful essence for this is the water violet. The water violet is a very beautiful, creative, loving individual who has so much to bring to the world, but in a very quiet, gentle way. That is the water violet. So if this essence, if you really identify with this flower, then chances are you are a dominant water type. Okay, that's it for water. Now we will move on to fire. Okay, so now hello Leah, so glad that you joined us. Fire is the next part of the process. We have air, which is where all the ideas come from. We have water, which is the detail gathering, getting all the information necessary in order for us to take action. Fire is the element of taking action. Fire is a outward movement energy, so it's usually easy to sense on people. These are people that can be described as pushy, but in a positive description, or someone who's learned to utilize their fire energy in a very positive way. It's a determined nature. That is the positive word used to describe these people. They are extremely determined. They know how to get things done. They are just quick acting. They're spontaneous. There is something that needs to get done. They're going to do it right now. They're not an ideas, let's talk about ideas, all day, which is very much an air. And they're not, let's sit and gather all these. No, they are just, okay, something needs to get done. We're going to do it. Very decisive, move into action very quickly. They're the type of people you want around if you have a project that you want to get done, but you're the type to just sort of, meander around and, okay, I want to get this project done, but okay, I have a few minutes now and then I'll do a few minutes more tomorrow. Not when a fire energy is around. Fire energy will say, that's it. We're getting it done in 20 minutes. This is going to be over. And if if you're, let's say, decluttering your house, we've been doing a lot of that lately. So I'll declutter very quickly and, create the piles of, okay, this is going to go to the Goodwill. This is going to be sold. This is going to be stored, let's say. my husband, who is a fire, will pick up the bag that is going to Goodwill and go right this moment to deliver it to Goodwill. I would have said, oh, the next time I go out, or wait, there's still some stuff I want to add to it. But a fire is not going to wait. A fire is just going to say, we're doing this now. A lot of entrepreneurs are fires because they are just able to take what they want and get it done like this. There are no obstacles, just bulldoze. They're just there. They are getting it done. So that's fire. And red chestnut came up for me for fire energy. Red chestnut it's funny because the Bach description of this essence is not applicable here. But I feel like the red chestnut, all red essences have a lot of fire in them, but the red chestnut just seems like a very active, reactive sort of energy. And so I'm putting that one out there for all of you fires. So if you feel like this resonates with you, if you love that, quick into action movement, then chances are you are a fire, and that is your dominant energy, and you are the person that people go to when they want to get things done. Okay, so now we are with Earth, the last energy type that we're going to talk about. And Earth's, their strength, so we've already had all the ideas and the detail gathering, and now moving it into action. So what's left, right? The action has already been taken. But Earth's, their association, their interaction with the world is a very intellectual one. These are the people that can see the bird's eye view, like Sarah Turner said the other day. Such a gorgeous example of an earth energy is this eagle eye view of the world. They are able to look from above with a sharp, critical eye and look at a bigger picture, just like the eagle's eye view. They can see a bigger picture and see how to perfect something that's already been created, and then to duplicate that process as efficiently as possible. Those are your earth energies. It is the lowest energy the lowest movement on the energy scale. That does not mean that these people are sloths. That just means that they have a great capacity for stillness. They are people who can sit very quietly in a crowd. They will normally sit very symmetrically. They love symmetry. Airs, I forgot to mention, their shape is geometric, very sharp edges. As you would imagine, just this sharp energy. Earths are more of, when they doodle, they'll perfect a picture that's already there. They are puzzlers. They can do puzzles faster than any of the other dominant energy types because they see the bigger picture. So they can look at one piece and intuitively know where it goes because they've already seen in their mind the bigger picture. A lot of Earths that I know have a great inner vision. They are able to really visualize in their heads what the finished product will look like. When I design houses, when I design Beit Roga, when I am picturing an event that I'm creating, I can already picture what the finished product will look like. When I'm going to decorate for a celebration or a party that I'm making, I can already picture what it's going to look like, the whole thing in my mind from start to finish. So that's an Earth, seeing the greater picture. They will be able to most efficiently plan and tweak a process from A to Z. So they're who you want to have around if you're planning a party, planning an event, trying to see the greater picture on something, analyze your business, how to get to things more efficiently, how to organize your time better. These are Earth energy people. Their interaction through the world, like I said, is intellectually. Their minds are very analytical and sharp. And so I'll mention two essences here that are great for this type of energy. And the first one is wild pink. I've mentioned this essence before, this flower before. And she is just stillness. That is her essence, being in the present moment. a capacity for great stillness. And again, that very much describes the earth energy. And there's also oak, which describes the earth energy. And one more that I will bring here is the red mandevilla, which is a very grounding energy. Earths are very grounded people. And if they're not, then they'll feel a bit lost. And once they get grounded, then okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. So it's very important for them to stay grounded. That's their natural element, is this capacity for stillness. And again, that's a very earth movement. So that is the general overview of these elements. Now, why is it so important to know who you are? First of all, once you know who you are, you can stop beating yourself up for what you're not. If you feel like people have had expectations of you in life, be more organized or have greater ideas or have more energy, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be a do-it-all where I live, get it all done and be the great mom and go out and have picnics with your kids and volunteer for your community and be clean, be doing everything, doing it all and having all this high energy. And if you're not that type of energy type and you're not that extroverted type of person that loves being, then discovering that you're one of the quieter energy types will give you this ability to honor where you are and this ability to really respect yourself and respect your energies in a way so that you can nurture yourself. I'm all about nurturing yourself on a higher level. And if you are a fire, but you've been told to shush all your life, because fires tend to be this loud, their interaction with the world is very physical. And so there'll be the rough and tumble kids and the very loud kids and always, wanting to play fight. And that's great. But if that was, quieted as a child, if you were told, place yourself more in a box, especially if you were a girl with fire energy, then you may have been told, stop being such a tomboy. Why are you outside climbing trees? Come inside and play with your dolls. You can discover that energy in yourself and use it to your positive advantage, and it is extremely freeing. So again, identifying your energy type will just help empower you to be your best you, which is what this journey is all about, right? Becoming our best and highest selves. And how can we do that if we're living in a false energy type? So I invite you to research this more, ask questions below, PM me if you want it to be, private conversation. I am more than delighted to help you on your path of figuring out what your energy type is. You are the best person to type yourself. No one can really type you better than you can. Usually there's an intuitive knowing when someone's described all four types to you, which one you are. But certainly not necessarily, if you've listened to this and you immediately identify with your type, great. But it certainly doesn't have to happen in 20 minutes. The process can be a long one. Finding out more details, looking at pictures that can help you identify with your energy type, looking at your physical features. So keep that in mind and do the research, or hop on to Live Your Magical Life later on this week, and I am planning on going into each of these further. So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I look forward to discovering more about your energy type, our energy types, with you on this process, on this journey. So have a great rest of your day, a great week, and sending lots of love.